guys, so today's video is a book review of Stardust by Neil Gaiman. This is the gorgeous illustrated edition published by Vertigo and illustrated by Charles Vess. So I will talk about the illustrations as well. I have been meaning to review this book for ages and I did actually review it once. Don't know what happened to the footage, so we're back again to review it because it needs reviewed, I think. Let's begin with this particular edition, which obviously isn't the only edition. Tons of editions of Stardust that are not illustrated, but I picked this one up because it really appealed to me and it is gorgeous. I think if you can get your hands on this one, I would highly recommend it. I enjoy illustrated books. This is the full text. They've not taken anything away. It's not an abridged version to fit in with illustrations, so you're not missing out on anything. If anything, you're getting something extra. So here's some of the illustrations. You have full page ones like this. Some that just sort of interrupt the text a bit like that. Some that kind of make the text go in strange patterns. And some even that take up entire two-page fold-outs, which are just gorgeous. Charles Vess's illustrations are like the perfect fantasy illustrations in my opinion. Here we have the star on the front there, giant there, just gorgeous, exactly what I kind of would want fantasy illustrations to be. Full palette of colours, beautiful characters, just stunning and really adds to the experience for me of having read this book. So again, highly recommend this edition. But what is Stardust about, you ask? Now this is an adult novel by Neil Gaiman. It was the first adult novel by Neil Gaiman I read. Previously I'd only ever read his children's books, and it certainly is an adult book. Very quickly on there was a sex scene which, although it doesn't bother me, I was not expecting. I was like, yes, I see how this is an adult one in comparison to the others. It follows our hero Tristan, who lives in a town called Wall. This is set when the British Empire is still at its height. This is a British town called Wall, fictional obviously, but what is significant about the town of Wall is that there is a giant wall and behind the wall is the magical realm. So the normal realm that we live in and the magical realm are separated by this wall. But every so often the two communities meet together when a market is held by the magical people, and the people of Wall can stroll around and purchase things from the people from the magical realm. The story begins with Tristan's father at the market meeting some very interesting people. But what makes Tristan special is that he crosses the wall and goes deep into the magical realm, which people are not supposed to do, but for some reason Tristan is allowed to. Now he goes across the wall because he wants to catch a fallen star which has landed on the other side of the wall to give to the girl he wishes to woo. And magical adventures ensue from there across the wall. I absolutely loved the magic realm that Neil Gaiman created in this. It was so beautiful and so intriguing, and if anything upset me about this book was that there wasn't more of it. It was quite a short book, and it's a lot shorter as well when it doesn't have the illustrations in it. And oh, I wish it had been longer. I wish it had been almost like an epic fantasy, but then that's my thing. When I read fantasy books, I like them to be really long. Whereas if you aren't that into fantasy and don't so much enjoy big long books, this may be a good place to start with fantasy because it isn't that like epic or long, but the world is stunning. I just feel like there could have been so much more. I feel like the world could have been built up so much more. The strange creatures and characters that live in this world could have been developed more, and I would have loved that. It didn't make me dislike the book in any way. I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. And if anything, this could be a good complaint because it just shows how much I loved the book. But I just wish there had been more Neil Gaiman, more. I wish you would write more set in this world, and it's made me really excited to read more of Neil Gaiman's adult fiction. There's also a film of this book that some of you might have seen, which I have seen as well, and how do they compare? I quite like the film, although it's very different, and there's some things in the book I far preferred. I far preferred the characterization of the girl who Tristan is trying to woo in his village. In the film, she's very shallow and simple and like not very heavily characterized and kind of not a very nice person in the film, whereas she is much better developed, and I find it a lot more of a flattering portrayal of her in this book and a lot fairer, and I really enjoyed that. I really liked that. I didn't feel that like slight undertone of sexism that there was in the film that her character portrayed, whereas in this people were a lot better developed and a lot more well-rounded, and I really enjoyed that, which is a little unfortunate for the film. There's also entire sort of sequences in the film that aren't in this book. But I did enjoy watching the film, so I wouldn't say don't watch it. What can I say? Maybe more about the length. Again, loved this book, loved the world. Wish the ending had been longer. I felt like the ending was a little bit too abrupt. It just ended quite suddenly for me, and I kind of wish it had been drawn out. I really liked the characters. I thought they were a lot of fun. They were flawed. Christian was certainly no like perfect hero. He was a bit useless and did some kind of unethical things, but learned as it went on and became a better human being by the end. And I think the magic system and the world and the creatures that Neil Gaiman created in this were absolutely stunning, and like I said, I just wish there was more. If you've read this book, then please let me know your thoughts on it, whether you agree or disagree with anything I said. And if you have any Neil Gaiman adult books in particular you think I'd like, since I like this one, then please let me know, because I really want to read them all. And until next time guys, happy reading. I'll see you all again soon. Bye!